Hello students. Today we are going to go over Unit 9.3, which the objective is I can solve a system of equations using any method. And the reason it's titled, What is it ready for? Is because you will look at the two equations and decide what type of method you will use to solve for x and y. For example, the first one here, to use graphing, you want both equations are in slope-intercept form. And remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. See how y equals mx plus b? M and b are both numbers in general. So y equals negative 8x minus 11, and y equals x minus 2. So when they're both in slope-intercept form, you can graph it and find your solution that way. Another method is by substitution. This is when one equation is solved for a variable. Over here, y equals 5x. Y is solved, and then negative 2x plus y equals negative 15. Since y is already solved, it's by itself, we would substitute the 5x in for the y right there and solve for x, and then plug it back in and solve for y. The third method is called elimination. That's when both equations are in standard form, and I don't think we've gone over standard form much, but it is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are all numbers, okay? So over here we have 10x minus 20y is negative 20, and negative 4x plus 10y equals 20. So we would use elimination, and we would probably multiply the bottom equation by 2, and that way we would get opposites of the y's, and one of the one variable eliminated would be the y. Okay, so if we need to pause this so you can look that over, hopefully, I know looks quite a bit busy, but it's a bunch of really good information. Okay, next we're going to go again. This is page 107 in the packet, and we're going to do a few problems here. So number 1 in the packet says y equals negative 7x plus 19 and y equals 3x minus 1. And it's ready to be solved by what? We look at the equation. They're both solved for y. So if both of them are solved for y, it's better ready to be solved by graphing. And you say, why is this? And it's because they are both in slope-intercept form. So both equations are in slope-intercept form, and there you go. That's when you want to graph, okay? And if you need to pause the video to write all this stuff in, that's fine, but I'm going to keep going on. The next one, 4x plus y is negative 6, 2x minus y is 0. And that is ready to be solved by elimination. And why is it elimination? Because they're both in standard form. If you add them together, it'll be 6x, and the y's will disappear because they're negative opposites there, or negative y and a positive y, and then negative 6 plus 0. So it's ready to be solved by elimination because both equations are in standard form. The next one, number 3, when I look at that, y equals negative 2x plus 3, 5x minus 2y is 12. It's ready to be solved by substitution. Because one equation is solved for a variable. Notice that y equals negative 2x plus 3. It's already solved for y, and 1 is not. So it's easy to substitute all of this negative 2x plus 3 in for that y right there. And then you solve for x after that. Now we're going to go on to page 108. And we're going to decide on each of these what is the best method, okay? So the first one, y equals negative 3 halves x plus 8, and y equals 3x minus 1. Oh, they're both solved for y. They're in slope-intercept form, which makes it really easy to graph. So this one, it intercept form, so it intercepts the y-axis at +8. So right there. Then I use my slope, -3/2, which means down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. And then I go 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2 again. 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2 again. Okay, so that is that first line. The next one starts at -1, and this is a good review for graphing. And then I rise 3 and I run 1, because a whole number you can just put it over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Oh, look at that. It's going to cross right there. And I say, oh, you have beautiful graphs. Mine's not quite as beautiful, but it looks like it crosses at 2, 5. So the solution on this is 2, 5. And we're done. Okay? Then we go on to the next one. And we say, oh, what's the best way of this? Well, these have a plus y and a minus y. So I'm going to go ahead and add them together and get 6x equals -6. Divide by 6, and I get x equals -1. Now I'm going to put that back in the equation. 2 times -1 minus y equals 0. And then again, I'm working so I can figure out what y is, because I know what x is right here already. So I get -2 minus y equals 0. So y equals -2. So the solution for number 8, I'm going to put an arrow over here, is -1, -2. Again, we put them in XY form, making sure that your X value is always listed first. Okay, hopefully I didn't go too fast. If I did, we could slow the video down or stop it, okay? The next one is solve for y, number 10. So I skipped number 9. I went all the way to 10. One is solved for y and one is not. So in that case, in general, or one, any variable that's solved and then one is not, you use substitution. So I'm going to take this whole equation and put it in for the y down here. So I'm going to write this second equation, 5x minus 2, and then I need parentheses. I'm going to substitute that whole thing in for y. And I'm going to solve for x now. -2 times -2. Don't forget, it's going to be a -2 that's multiplied. Okay. So I'm going to continue over here. Divide by 9. And x equals 2. Then I'm going to plug that back into one of these equations. I'll probably choose the top one. Y equals -2 times 2 plus 3. So y equals -4 plus 3. Y equals -1. So our solution to that one is 2, -1, and put it in ordered pair form. It's kind of hard with this. It kind of, the easel's a little bit in the way. So there you have it. Your homework should be page 108 and 109. Good luck, students. You rock.